back here at Legion Field in Fort Morgan as we get ready for the start of the game between Pueblo County and Fort Morgan. Pueblo County, their quarterback, Joey Paradiso, has thrown 3 interceptions this year. He has also run, he's only thrown, though, 17 of 38 for 304 yards. He does have 6 touchdowns. But as Kevin had alluded to earlier, he and J.J. Muniz do a lot of running, and he has carried the ball 172 times for 1,273 yards and 14 touchdowns. J.J. Muniz has carried 184 times for 1,214 yards and 10 touchdowns. So there's some people that the Mustangs defense are going to have to stop, at least 2 of the major kids there anyway.
I think a lot of their passing came kind of towards the end of the season as they kind of developed that passing game, but still not a very established passing game. Pueblo County out of the South Central League, 3 teams from that league get to the playoffs. Pueblo County 2-2 in league, losing to both Pueblo East and the Classical Academy, who are both first-round hosts in the playoffs. And so Pueblo County also going 6-4 overall, giving up 293 actually scoring 293 points and giving up 160 for an average score of 29-16. Fort Morgan, on the other hand, the average game score was 51-6. So a little difference in who they competed against, but I think Fort Morgan, if they stick to their game plan and have a little more balance than maybe Pueblo County has, should have a good opportunity to stick with it and play well.
Yeah, and they also need to make sure they cut down on their mistakes, cut down on their penalties and any fumbles or anything. So looks like Pueblo County will receive to start off the game. The Fort Morgan starting lineup is brought to you by Cargill Beef. Cargill Beef is committed to feeding the world in a responsible way by reducing environmental impact and continuously improving products and processes. Learn about Cargill's story of commitment at www.cargill.com. Starting today for your Fort Morgan Mustangs, nose guard senior Alex Mai. Defensive ends are sophomore Trey McBride and senior Toby McBride. Outside linebackers, junior Austin Breedenbach and senior Anthony Arroyo. Inside linebackers are senior Jacob Pritzler, senior Frank Rosales. Cornerbacks, junior Angelo Rivera and senior Nate Gertner. Free safety is senior Kyle Daniels, and strong safety today is sophomore Jimmy Keller.
And those kids are going to get their chance to prove why Fort Morgan has shut out several teams and held the rest to just a touchdown or 2. Talking about kickoffs, Coach Chisholm talked in his pregame about how Fort Morgan's kickoff team has had lots and lots of practice. And I was watching some highlights from Pueblo County, and the one kickoff I saw, it only went down to about the 20. So I think we're going to have an advantage on special teams as well against Pueblo County.
We'll see how that all unfolds this afternoon. The opening kickoff is brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Looking to find insurance for your car, home, or even for you? Call Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance with 2 locations in Brush and Fort Morgan. They can help you with your home, car, health, or life insurance questions or provide a quote.
Quite a different weather scenario than it was last year when we hosted Evergreen. They had to have the heaters out and keep the teams warm, and we're sitting here in short shirt sleeves, and a lot of the fans are enjoying a balmy November 14th.
Beautiful, beautiful afternoon, that's for sure, and the field looks great also. As Franny Gonzalez approaches, puts his foot into it, it will be into the end zone, so we'll start off the game with a touchback. Nice deep kick there by Franny. So that'll start 1st and 10, Pueblo County from the 20. So we'll find out right away here what Pueblo County looks to do. I would guess they would probably come out and stick with what got them here.
The one thing about Fort Morgan is even if they don't stop you on the run, they put a lot of pressure on your quarterback.
So 1st and 10. Paradiso in the shotgun formation, rolls out to his left, goes back up the middle, and he's going to get about 5 as Anthony Arroyo brings him down right at the 25-yard line. So 2nd and 5.
He's a shifty little runner. There wasn't a big hole, but he kind of danced his way through. So Fort Morgan really going to have to play good gap responsibility and not over pursue, because he will cut back and find the hole.
So they do have receivers split left and right. Paradiso in the backfield as they put man in motion right to left. Handoff up the middle, and not much running there, as he might get out to the 27, be a gain of 2. So I'll bring up a third and 3.
Good battle being waged there in the middle between Fort Morgan's stout defense and Pueblo County's offensive line.
3rd and 3.
Running back that's in the backfield with Paradiso is J.J. Muniz, a 5'9", 175-pound senior.
And there's those mistakes we talked about. Fort Morgan jumping off sides, giving them first down.
Giving them got to settle down and watch the ball and not listen to the count.
So I think
go ahead.
I was going to say, because Pueblo County is kind of hard to say, I'm just going to start calling them the Hornets.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 32. Lines up in a shotgun formation. Man in motion left to right. He's going to hand it off up the middle. And Muniz gets it out across the 25. Looks like he gets it out to about or across the 35, out to the 36. So it'll be a gain of 4.
2nd down and 6.
Hard running there. He got underneath the pads of the Fort Morgan linebacker and just drove him back till he got some help to bring him down.
So 2nd and 6 from the 36 for Pueblo County. Paradiso waits for the snap, and he keeps the ball. It's hard to tell if he had handed it off or not. They kind of sticks it into the belly and then pulls it out, but
I think he did end up handing it off to 27.
It'd be Elijah Martinez. He's had 3 touchdowns this year, carried 44 times for 340 yards. So it brings up a 3rd and 7 after a loss of 1 from the 36. See if the Mustangs can snap back. He rolls out to his left, looks to go deep downfield. Maybe over the head. Oh, it's nice leaping catch by number 7, and that is Jake Wilson. Went over the head of Nate Gertner. Nate Gertner was right there. Couldn't have had a better coverage. But it was right where Wilson could get it, and that'll be a 1st and 10 Pueblo County from the Morgan 34-yard line.
Nice 31-yard pickup there. And like you say, the coverage couldn't have been much better. Wilson's a tall 6'3" kid, and he just went up higher and held on to that ball. Really good play by the Hornets.
So Paradiso, once again, a shotgun formation lines up. Going to be a handoff to Paradiso Muniz, as he gets it down to the 30. Be a gain of 4. So they'll bring up a 2nd and 6.
2nd down and 6.
From the 30. He holds that ball in his belly till they're about 2 yards downfield and still decides if he's going to keep it or not.
That looked a little like he wanted it back and didn't necessarily get it back, and Munoz said, no, it's mine.
So receivers left and right. Paradiso once again in the shotgun formation, and center, or the nose guard, I believe, jumped again for Fort Morgan. So that'll bring up another offsides by Fort Morgan. So it'll bring up about now a 2nd and 1.
Fort Morgan playing a little bit anxious and maybe a little flustered. They got to come back and realize that they've come back and played good football against teams.
So 2nd and 1, Paradiso shotgun formation, receivers left and right. Low snap, but he gets it. And Toby McBride, nice tackle out on the right side as Paradiso does not get back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a loss back to the 29-yard line.
Right, and it's almost like he used one of his wrestling moves to pick him up and just body slam him. And what a great athlete Toby McBride is, and we're sure going to miss him next year, and we're wishing the best of luck up at CSU with the Rams.
So I'll bring up just about a 3rd and 5 from the 29 for the Hornets. Man in motion coming right to left. It's going to be a handoff to Muniz up the middle, and he is plenty far for the first down as he gets third down to the 15, and then a flag comes in at the end. So we'll see if it's going to be a face mask as the Hornets are clapping their hands. So it looks like it will be against Fort Morgan. Personal foul, face mask on Fort Morgan. So that'll be half the distance to the goal. So that'll bring up a 1st and goal from the Fort Morgan 7. Muniz looks like a pretty strong runner. He carried about 2 or 3 guys there for about 4 yards.
Certainly tougher than the Niwot and Arvada runners that we faced earlier in the season.
So Paradiso shotgun formation once again. It's a handoff to Muniz this time, and he doesn't get much. He is stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Alex Mai, Jacob Fritzler in on the tackle, so they'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
No gain, 2nd down and goal.
I think Fort Morgan just needs to settle down and play their game. You know, they got the one big throw, and they've gotten 3 penalties on us. And other than that, you know, and I guess one 14-yard run. But if we settle down and play our game, you know, we'll be able to handle them, I think.
Cut out the mistakes. So shotgun formation once again as they put Martinez in motion, but it's going to be a rollout to the left side for Paradiso, and he is close to the goal line, but he is going to come up just short.
Paradiso on the keep.
So it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 1.
About the 1 yard line.
As Paradiso
3rd down and goal.
ran a keeper to the left. So I'm sure this will be 4-down territory here for the Hornets as they line up in a T backfield behind Paradiso as he is under center. See what the Hornets run here, and it's a keeper by the Hornets, and Paradiso goes into the end zone for the early score as Pueblo County now leads 6-0 over the Fort Morgan Mustangs with 6:05 to go here in this first period of play.
Again, I can't reiterate enough that Fort Morgan cannot panic. It's just 1 touchdown. Our offense hasn't been on the field yet. You know, we do need to come out and get some field position against them.
So kick is up, and it is good. Paradiso also the kicker, so 7-0 with 6:05 to go here in the first period of play. You're listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs football on B106 and B106.com. Back here at Legion Field in Fort Morgan, the Mustangs find themselves down 7-0 as Pueblo County took it 80 yards with about 3 penalties from Fort Morgan on the drive. So Fort Morgan coming up with their first opportunity as Kyle Daniels and Tate Kimball wait back at about their 10. So we'll see how deep Alejandro Augustin is the kicker. Just an onside type of kick taken by Angelo Rivera, and he goes down at the 30. So
pretty effective kick there, flirting with going out of bounds, which would put us at about the same point anyway.
So 1st and 10, Fort Morgan from their own 30. So we'll see what Fort Morgan can do against this Hornet defense.
Like they run 5 front with maybe 4 linebackers, 2 linebackers, corners up.
To the full house backfield behind Knapp. Put Arroyo in motion to the left, and he stops out on the left side. It's going to be a pitch to Toby out on that left side. He gets some blocking out there, and he gets it across the 35 out to about the 37.
Crosses the 35 to about the 37.
So that'll bring up a 2nd and
Rick Cohn on the
3
tackle.
from the 37 after that run by.
7, 2nd down and 3.
And that looks good because Pueblo County lined up with 3 defenders outside that right or that left tight end, and we were still able to run outside on them. So, we'll find a weakness and take it to them.
Same lineup as last time with Knapp under center. Arroyo and Tate Kimball this time with Toby as they send Toby in motion to the right, and he sets up out on the right side. It's going to be a pitch out to Tate Kimball as he gets some blocks out there, and he will get enough for the first down. As lead blocks out there by Anthony Arroyo and McBride.
Armando on the tackle.
First and 10 from the 41.
So it may just come down to which offensive team makes the first mistake and turns over the ball, or penalty kill a drive or something like that. Because it looks like Fort Morgan's offense is certainly hitting on all cylinders.
So now we're in I formation for the Mustangs with Marquez and Daniels. It's going to be a handoff over that left side. Nice block out left side. 45-50 down into Hornet territory as he gets Tate gets it down to the 44-yard line.
44. That's a Mustang first down.
Nice run there by Tate Kimball. Nice lead block out there by Toby McBride.
Absolutely. That little cornerback didn't really know what to do. He couldn't get out of the way fast enough because here came Toby.
It's like a freight train coming at you. So first and 10, Fort Morgan. I formation, Daniel split wide right, Marquez to the left. Toby and Tate in the backfield. And there they just drew a nice hard count. And that drew the Hornets offside. So that'll be a free 5 yards for Fort Morgan. So I'll bring up a 1st and 5.
So I guess both offenses can go with a hard count and get the defense to jump.
It'll be a 1st and 5 from the 39. Fort Morgan started this drive at their own 30. Knapp giving some signals before he goes under center. It's going to be a handoff to Tate over the right side. Not much there. He gets a couple of yards. Holds on to that ball. Get it down to about the 37. So bring up gain of 2.
2nd down and 2.
So 2nd and 3 from the 37.
And they haven't ran inside at all, and that's because they've got 2 really large guys in the middle there. Don't know the numbers, but they look big, and we'll have to figure out how big they are.
So I formation again for the Mustangs. Tate Kimball over the left side, cuts it back up the middle. Looks like he'll be far enough downfield for the first down.
Kimball up the middle, finds his way.
We'll see, they just did put it down inside the 35. We'll see where they put it down. They're going to stop the clock for a measurement. We'll see what... from here it looks like it's enough, but it may just be a hair short. It's hard to tell.
First time we see the Fort Morgan Volunteer Fire Department guys who man the chains for the Mustang program having to do some work and come out on the field.
So as they get that stretched out there, and it's going to be just short, just inches short. So it'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
3rd down and inches for the Mustangs.
From just inside the 35. See what Fort Morgan comes up with here. Better Electric, better quality, better service, better results. It's Better Electric and also the home of Sterling Trailers, your Big Tex headquarters.
And I'm thinking if you're a gambler, you just let Trey release downfield and you do a play action pass and catch him loading the box. But I don't think we'll see that on the first drive.
So Fort Morgan will line up in the I formation. Daniels right and Marquez left. As Knapp goes up under center. Going to be a handoff to Toby up the middle, and he'll have plenty for the first down. So it'll bring up a 1st and 10. Fort Morgan as he gets it down to the
That's a Mustang first down.
34. So didn't need much and didn't get a whole lot, but it was enough for the first down. Same formation as before. Knapp giving some signals before he goes under center. Hornets look like they're going to bring somebody else. This left side as they look to pass downfield. Knapp loads up and it's going to be out here to the side to Trey McBride. And it is a catch out here down to the, not the 25. Let's see where they finally, it will be the 25. So it's a nice gain there on first down.
And a really nice throw to a pretty well covered player. Trey McBride is covered pretty well.
So it looks like
Timeout, Pueblo County.
Pueblo County's taking a timeout, so we'll take on with them with 2:41 to go first period. Pueblo County 7, Fort Morgan nothing on B106 and B106.com. Back here at Legion Field, Fort Morgan on a nice drive, starting at their own 30, and they've taken it down to the Hornet 25-yard line. So we'll bring up about a 2nd and 2. As Fort Morgan came out with the first pass of, or would be their first pass of the afternoon, 8-yard pass to Trey McBride. Line up the same as before. Going to be a pitch deep to Tate Kimball as he leads it outside, breaks a tackle, and he gets it down inside the, right at the 20. So that's enough for a first down as he broke an arm tackle at about the 23 or so. Pulled away from that and got first down territory.
Early score from Brush. Bayfield up 7-0 in the first.
So 1st and 10 Mustangs from the Hornet 20. I formation once again. It's going to be a handoff to Tate over the right side. Breaks it up over the right side. Looks like he was down before the ball came out. Gets it down to about the 21. It'll be a gain of 4. So 2nd and 6 from the 16.
Vasquez on the tackle.
They're certainly not getting outside and getting that wide open running territory that they had in a lot of the previous games. So Fort Morgan just has to keep pounding and finish off this drive.
So 2nd and 6 from the 16. Going back to the full house backfield with Arroyo and Rosales in the backfield with Toby. It's going to be handoff to Arroyo on that left side as they seal that left side. It's going to get around the left side, but not quite enough, I don't believe, for the first down.
Anthony Arroyo on the carry.
As that will bring up about a 3rd and 1. I can't see just where they.
It's like maybe 2.
3rd and 2 from the 12.
Gain of 4. 3rd down and 2.
4-yard run for Arroyo. Full house backfield once again. Trey McBride lines up as a end on the right side. Knapp under center waiting the snap. And it looks like the Hornets want to bring everybody. Rosales moves out to the right side. It's a pitch to Toby as he brings it around this right side. Breaks one tackle, 10 to the 5, and he is into the end zone for the touchdown. Toby McBride takes it in 12 yards to make the score now 7-6 with 42.5 seconds left to go here in the first period of play.
And he just pretty much gave the guy an arm to hold on to and then danced with him all the way in. The guy had no chance to bring him down.
So now Franny on for the PAT.
Franny to attempt the point for the Mustangs.
11 play drive, and that's exactly what the Hornets had, was 11 plays on their drive also. Waiting for the snap. The kick is up. And no good, off to the right.
No good.
So that leaves the score
43 seconds left to go in the first quarter. The score
7-6.
Pueblo County 7.
So we'll just keep it here for this. After this touchdown here.
So a little misfire on the special teams, and Looks like some of the Mustangs are a little winded down on the sideline, especially the ones that have to go both ways. A lot of flu bug going around Fort Morgan, at least in the schools. Hopefully none of the football players being affected by that, on a hot afternoon having to put forth that effort.
Each team with one possession, each taking about 6 minutes off the clock. Franny gets it teed up at the 40.
Franny to tee it up for the Mustangs.
As they
Pouring it and deep.
check with all the refs, make sure they're all ready for the kickoff, and Franny gets the whistle to approach. Puts his foot into it. Nice deep kick again. Going to be another touchback for Franny.
That one will come out to the 20.
Pueblo County will take their second drive and start once again from the 20.
And that's good field position for our defense to start in, force them to go the full 80 yards. And so far we've seen the defense make penalties for both sides, 3 against Mustangs and 1 against the Hornets, but no offensive mental mistakes yet.
So the Hornets line up 2 receivers left. Shotgun formation as they put Martinez in motion left to right. Handoff this time to Muniz as he goes up the middle and maybe gets it from one side of the 20 to the other.
Yeah, that was a tough half yard he just earned there.
Pulled out right at the line.
So we'll give him
second down and 10.
Yeah, we're going to call still 2nd and 10 from the 20. See if Fort Morgan coaches did a little changed up their defense somewhat here. Now they put Martinez in motion once again. It's going to be a handoff around this right side. See out to the 20. He stutter steps, and that is enough for the Fort Morgan Mustangs to converge on him. Looks like Jacob Fritzler and Kyle Daniels, Nate Gerton in on the tackle. And that brings this first quarter to an end with Pueblo County up 7-6 on your Fort Morgan Mustangs on B106 and B106.com. Back here at Legion Field in Fort Morgan, a big third down here for the Mustang defense. About a 3rd and 6. Paradiso gets it and rolls out to this left side, cuts it back up the middle, and he is going to be brought down just short, I believe, of the first down.
On the tackle.
Boy, are you going to gamble, deep in your territory against Fort Morgan? I don't know. That's a good thing for the coaches to have to decide.
So 4th and a short 1 from the 29, just between the 29 and the 30.
And they're not going under center, so no sneak here.
So Paradiso shotgun formation. It's going to be a rollout to his left. We'll see if the Mustangs can converge, and they do. They've been holding on that 4th down. Good job by the Mustangs. Looks like Breidenbach, Fritzler, and another host of Mustangs as they lose about 2 yards on that 4th down play.
And you go for that because you want to give your offensive line confidence. Now, all that did was give defensive linemen the big confidence and put a little bit of doubt in the Bull or the Hornet offensive linemen's minds. What a huge play.
That's right. Nice stop there by the Mustangs. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the Hornet 28. Handoff out this left side, and Tate is going to come out of a 1 tackle, but then be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. He was initially hit at about the 30 and then driven back to about the 32. So a loss on the play.
First loss of yardage by the Mustang offense. And that time someone was able to sneak through, maybe on a run blitz, and get to him before he could get to the corner.
So I'll bring up a 2nd and 14 from about the 32. I formation for the Mustangs. Daniel split wide right, Marquez to the left. Knapp goes under center. It's a keeper looks downfield, and it's going to be a pass, and looks like it should have been, could almost been pass interference, but as they tried to get it to Trey down at about the 22, couldn't quite come up with it. So that brings up 3rd and 14 for the Mustangs.
And the play fake would have worked great because they caught him without anyone on that right side, and I think Tate would have been able to get the first down or get some positive yardage. Now it's a little tougher, 3rd and long.
So I'll send Marquez and Daniels wide right. Dawson Frick to the left. Trey is in the slot as Knapp rolls back. He's going to pull it down and run it. If he can get by that first defender, he could not, but he gets it down to the 25.
First down at the 25.
So that'll bring up a 4th and about 7
Brings up 4th down and 7.
from the 25. Thought maybe Knapp could get by that first defender there, but couldn't get out of his grasp.
You know, the Hornets play really good defense, solid fundamentals. They break down and they make good wrap-up tackles.
So 2 receivers right, 2 left as a kind of a high snap. It's going to be a pass, and it's going to be intercepted at about the 10 on the far side by, was it number 15? Reese Weatherford. I'm not just exactly sure who Knapp was going to on that pass.
He threw it right between the 2 offensive guys. He had one deep, one short, and he threw it middle distance. And now the Mustangs have to go back on defense. We talked about both defenses having hiccups. Now both offenses had a little problems, and Fort Morgan not able to capitalize on that great field position.
So 1st and 10 from the 23. Shotgun formation for the Hornets. Receivers left and right. Paradiso's going to keep it out to that left side. Yeah, not much running out there. Looks like they're going to mark it at about the 25. It'd be a gain of 2. So 2nd and 8 from the 25 for the Hornets. Bryden back with the stop.
Good defense on that right side of the Mustangs.
So Paradiso shotgun formation with Muniz just to his right. Man in motion comes around this left side. Oh, nice big hit in the backfield by Frank Rosales.
Yeah, he saw that he wasn't going to get outside, and he started to come back in, and Rosales just chopped him at the knees and took him down, and a nice solid tackle there.
That'll bring up a 3rd down, so back to 3rd and 10 from the 23. A nice job there on that left defensive side, and then Frank Rosales comes in and cleans it up. Shotgun formation once again as they put Martinez in motion left to right. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, and not much there. Yes, he will get it back out across maybe just on the 26-yard line, 25-yard line. So it'll bring up a 4th down. Paradiso is also their punter.
4th down and 8.
So 4th and 8.
Both offenses settling down, or defenses settling down and making the yardage a lot harder.
Paradiso not lined up real deep. We'll see what he does. He just kicks it real short. Not a real good kick. He'll get some mileage out of it though, as it lands about the 50 and it'll clear down to the 36-yard line. So nice punt there, and some not too bad a field position for Fort Morgan.
And I think they've scouted the Mustangs. You don't want to punt to Kyle Daniels because if he has a chance, he's going to get it and he's going to go.
So 1st and 10 Mustangs from the 36. As Knapp heads out to the huddle.
I imagine they'll keep with their 3 or 4 yards in a cloud of dust until Tate or Toby can break a long one.
So they are lined up in the I formation. Marquez left, Daniels to the right. Going to be a counter over to that right side to Tate. Breaks his tackle at the 35 and looks like he gets it clear out to almost the 45. So we'll bring up a 2nd down as he gets about to the 43-yard line. Looks like about a gain of 7.
Both of these teams playing really physical defense out there, and the officials letting them carry those tackles out of bounds and bring them down. But it's going both ways, so certainly fair, and both teams like the physicality of the game.
So we're going to give him 8 on that one, bring up second down from the 44. Going to be a counter off to the left side. Tate cuts it back up in the middle, breaks some tackles, breaks another tackle at the 45, at the 40. He's going to, looks like he could go. Tate at the 20, 15, 10. Oh, there's going to be a flag back here for a low block. So that is going to come back. But Kyle Daniels goes low on the block. That's the only thing I can think of that they're going to. It wasn't a clip, I know that.
Yeah, he got in front of him.
So they're talking it over. We're going to see. Tate did take it into the end zone, so we're going to see if they wave this thing off. I know the coaches on the Mustang side, we're not happy with the call.
You know, possibly the offensive guy pushed him down, but
they're going to give it. They're going to wave it off. It looks like they're waving it off. Touchdown, Fort Morgan.
That's awesome.
Tate Kimball takes it in from 44 yards out.
I think it was from the 43 over here, so it's 57.
57-yard, excuse me, on that touchdown run, and nice job by Tate Kimball as he broke about 4 tackles.
Yeah, that was some individual effort on that one.
Oh, man.
He'll deserve a nice steak dinner tonight, I think.
So we'll see if Franny can connect here on the PAT as the refs have gone over and talked to the coach from Pueblo County.
And what I could tell from what the discussion looked like, that maybe he had a good block and then the defender pushed him down to try and keep him from blocking, and that's why it looked like he went low when he really hadn't.
So Franny waits for the ball placement.
Instead of going for 2, they're going to kick the extra point again. And
the kick is up, and it is good. This back here at Legion Field in Fort Morgan, the Mustangs have gone up on the Hornets 13-7 on a 57-yard run by Tate Kimball.
As Fort Morgan's head brush has tied up the game 7-7. Wiggins down 22-0 at Buena Vista. That's a tough road for them.
So another kick by Franny, taking it at the 5, the 10, the 15, and a host of Mustangs bring him down. It's like Jimmy Keller and Cade Bulis in on the tackle.
It's great coverage again. Even when he doesn't kick it into the end zone, he kicks it deep enough that the coverage can get down, and good sure-handed tackling by the Mustang coverage team.
So 1st and 10 from the 20 for the Hornets. So he put receivers left and right. Martinez split wide to the right. Paradiso shotgun formation, takes it back, looks out on the, going to be a lob down the left side and over the head of his intended receiver. I'm not sure what they were. They were trying to hit their big 6'3" tight end there and threw it over his head out of the reach of everybody. So they'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 from the 20.
And that's kind of a vote of confidence for Fort Morgan's defense in that they feel like they have to try and trick us and go downfield on 1st and 10. You know, now puts them in a hole having to get 10 yards in just 2 plays.
So shotgun formation as they put Martinez in motion right to left. And it's going to be a keeper by Paradiso on this left side. And Anthony Arroyo keeps his, plays his left defensive end well and makes Paradiso cut it up into the middle where the rest of the Mustangs are waiting for the tackle. So it's going to be a gain of about 3. So they'll bring up a 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Good inside defense there, and he just couldn't find anywhere to dance and get open.
Actually, Anthony is an outside linebacker out here. They put Martinez in motion left to right. It's going to be a reverse going the other way. And he cuts it back up the middle. And Alex Mai, I think, was the first one there to beat him. Let's see who else gets up off that pile. Jacob Fritzler
Pulled down at the line
and
of
Frank
scrimmage.
Rosales. Looks
Fritzler
like
there.
is there going to be a gain of 1. So that brings up a
Trey McBride.
4th.
Fourth down and 7.
And that was Martinez on that double reverse.
No, that actually went to 24. They gave it to
24.
Mason Mooring.
And a
So
gain
that
of
brings
1.
up a 4th down. Paradiso again with not a good. Daniels takes it at the 50. There's going to be a
And
block in the
flip.
back at about the 50. These guys.
Angelo Rivero knew it right away. He was hoping the guy would turn, and he just ran into the back of him, so not going to be as good a field position as if they would have just let it, if he would have just caught it and dropped to a knee.
So we're down to 5:16 left in the first half of play. As it will be Fort Morgan football. It'll be marked back from the
Holding on the Mustang.
Mustang 40s. Let's see, they call it holding. No, it was a block.
I
in
think
the back.
illegal block in the back, yeah.
Shuttle Mustangs will start from the 37. So 1st and 10, Fort Morgan with 5:16 left here to go as they are up 13-7. So I formation once again for the Mustangs. Marquez left and Daniels right. As the referee gives the signal to start that play clock. Knapp under center. Going to be a handoff over the left side to Tate, and he is going to lose a couple. This looks like it's maybe a good time to maybe try and throw that pass because they brought everybody up to the line of scrimmage on that one. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 12 from the 35.
Tackle. 2nd down and 12.
Yeah, they're doing some run blitzing there to try and keep us. But here's not where you want to pass when they know it. Maybe run a screen or a draw or something.
So we have Daniel split wide to the left. I formation. Looks like the Hornets want to bring everybody, and he is hit in the backfield once again. They just don't have enough people to cover, as that was Reese Weatherford breaking through the line. Another 2-yard loss. So we'll bring up a 3rd,
Third down and
about
13.
14 now from the 33.
And Fort Morgan's going to have to close those gaps a little bit and figure out what they're doing.
Now it looks like
Timeout Mustangs.
Fort Morgan's going to call a timeout, so we'll take on with them with 4:03 to go here in the second period of play. Fort Morgan up 13-7 on B106 and B106.com. Pass out into the flat, out on the right side to Tate, but he is not going to get much as he is going to be knocked down at the 30.
It almost looked like that was a backwards pass, wouldn't you say?
It looked like it, but he looked like he was taking off running upfield, but
The ball spotted at the
I'm going
30.
to give that as
a loss of 3.
a
So
pitch.
17.
We'll see our punting and see how we block, and hopefully keep them from blocking our punt and get good coverage down there.
they have a man standing back at their own 30-yard line. I can't see just who that is, but
Kelly the punt.
Tate.
Martinez back.
to punt for the Mustangs. A good snap. Nice snap back to Tate. Nice deep punt by Tate. It's going to land about the 35, the 30, and roll down inside the 25 as it rolls dead at about the 23. So nice punt by Tate Kimball.
Yeah, that was a huge punt. We needed to really pin them back with just a little bit. How much time left in the quarter?
There is 3:02 left.
Yeah, just a little over 3 minutes in the quarter. We can hold them and make them go the long field.
I'll bring up a 1st and 10 as they mark it about the 24 for the Hornets. It's a tight game here for the Mustangs. The only game that they were anywhere close to this was Vista Peak. I believe it was, 14-6, I think, at halftime. Paradiso shotgun formation, one receiver split wide right. It's a give over that left side to Muniz, hit initially and then bounces it out and goes out of bounds, but it's going to be a gain out to the like they're going to mark it at the 30.
Knocked out of bounds by Rivera.
So it looks like a gain of 6. So 2nd and 4.
Pretty balanced between Paradiso and Muniz. They both have 8 carries now on the day and split the duty equally. And that was some good hard running by Muniz that time.
So Muniz lines up behind Paradiso in the backfield. Looks like it's going to be a pitch out here to this left side. Kyle Daniels there initially, and Muniz just kind of puts his hand down, then he stumbles forward
Muniz on the carry.
out to the 35, so enough for the first down. So it'll be 1st and 10
First down
from the 35.
They're going hurry up now.
Down to 2:45 in this first half of play. Receivers left and right again. Going to be a handoff up the middle. Muniz hit at about the 30 and then falls forward as he runs into Jacob Fritzler.
Muniz over the right side.
It's going to be a gain of 2.
Second down at 8.
2nd and 8 from the 37. So receivers left and right. Shotgun formation once again for the Hornets. And looks like Fort Morgan has jumped off sides. We'll see if anybody moved. I don't believe they did. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 3.
Offside Mustangs. It'll move at 5.
From the 42-yard line.
2nd and 3.
So 2nd down and 3.
Just trying to get a little bit of advantage and time that. Maybe Fort Morgan needs to do a little bit more of that.
So shotgun formation once again. It's going to be a keeper by Paradiso out on that left side. And, it's going to be, he's going to keep running back in the backfield. And he breaks it to the outside still, but he is going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. He was being pursued back there by a number of Mustangs.
We have a timeout, Pueblo County.
And that took it back to the 34.
3rd down and 11. Timeout Pueblo County.
What a huge play by the Fort Morgan defense to stuff that, and then for him to make the mistake of thinking he's going to reverse field and get outside against Fort Morgan.
Looks like the first guy out there was that defensive end, Trey McBride, as he turned him back in. Then he tried to outrun him, as Kevin said. And then it's finally brought down at the 34. So 2nd and 11, or 3rd and 11.
Pretty much the type of ball game that we expected. You know, both teams run the same type of scheme, run hard up the middle and outside and stop the other team from doing it.
Coming back out of this timeout will be 3rd and 11. Paradiso shotgun formation as they put Martinez in motion left to right. Paradiso looks down. It's going to be a deep pass down that left side. And it's going to be nice job there by Nate Gertner as he is right in the way of Jake Wilson. That's about the only kid they try to throw to.
Bring up 4th down and 11.
Is that big 6'3" receiver out there.
And that time, just like the previous time, was perfect coverage. This time the ball was just, about 6 inches lower, and Nate could get to it and knock it down.
So it brings up 4th and 11 now. Kyle Daniels stands back at about his 37-yard line. Paradis is only about 7 yards back from the line of scrimmage. It's going to be another punt as he's going to punt it out of bounds. It's going to go out, looks like maybe about the...
Paradis' punt goes out of bounds.
He's marking it up right there. It's going to be Fort Morgan Mustang ball at the 44, their own 44. With 1:40 left in the first half of play. One good thing, Fort Morgan will get the ball to start the second half. But I'm sure they would like to get down at least into, if not at least into field goal range.
Coach Chisholm having a nice long talk with Dalen before he goes out there. I wonder if they're going to try and pass, and he's saying if there's nothing there, eat the ball rather than throw an interception, or what exactly he's telling them to do. this amount of time, if you can throw it 3 times, maybe get some yardage, and then you can always punt and hold them back.
So we have Tate split wide left. It's going to be a handoff over this right side to Anthony Arroyo. He cuts it up inside the 50, the 45, the 40, and he goes out of bounds. Nice job by Anthony Arroyo as he gets it down into Hornet territory.
And that time after he went out of bounds, the disgusted defender came up and gave him a little bit of a shove. Not enough really to be a cheap shot, but I'd like the officials to at least give that young man a talk about that, because we don't want anyone being hit out of bounds.
Yeah. So that took 8 seconds off the clock as they're lined up now with Anthony Arroyo in the backfield once again. Tate split out to the left. It's going to be a pass down this left side, lobbed up. If Tate can find it, just not a good pass. It ended up out of bounds.
Pass intended for Kimball, falls incomplete.
Intended for Kimball going down the left side.
He was deep on his defender for sure.
Yeah, he had him beat. If Dalen would have just more left it, let him out there. But that will bring up a 2nd and 10.
He was a little bit under distress, though. I think
10.
he was feeling some pressure.
So Kimball split left, Daniels right, Arroyo and McBride in the backfield with Trey lined up as a right end. Going to be a handoff to Arroyo this time, 30, as he gets down inside the 35-yard line.
Inside the 30. Inside the 35.
Well, he sees a hole and he goes for it, doesn't he?
He did. It was a cut right back up to that hole. It's going to be about 3rd and 3 after that 7-yard run from the 33. Going to be handoff to Arroyo again. Big block out there. So he gets inside the 30 and still going. Hang on to that ball, and he gets it down enough for first down territory. Down to 54 seconds. So bring up a 1st and 10 from the Fort Morgan 27. So it looks like Fort Morgan has called a timeout. We'll just keep it right here. This Fort Morgan timeout is brought to you by Ehrlich Toyota East. Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Ehrlich Toyota East in Fort Morgan will fit you into the car or truck of your choice. Serving all of Northeast Colorado, Ehrlich Toyota East.
And what a huge advantage that would be to get in there and score one more time before half and go up by 2 touchdowns.
And then come back out and get the ball to start that second half. So Fort Morgan coming out with a little bit different look with Tate being split out to the left and putting Anthony Arroyo in the backfield with Toby.
We talked a little bit earlier about Discovery Canyon winning their first playoff game. Pueblo East also played last night and won handily 49-10 over Lewis Palmer. Some other games going on today. Palisade, who would be our next opponent if we win and they win, is playing against number 12 D'Evelyn. Roosevelt had an early lead against Eagle Valley, and Evergreen, Holy Family, Evergreen's up on them. So we'll get back to the scores in a minute.
So full house backfield for the Mustangs. Well, actually, Knapp is in shotgun formation. Going to be a pass down the left side again to Tate Kimball, and he's got it for the touchdown. Tate Kimball takes it in from Dalen Knapp from 27 yards out. Knapp laid it right in there to him. That puts the score now 19-7 with 48.9 seconds left to go, first half of play.
Boy, how could that defense not realize last time he was wide open and think, oh, they'll never go to that again, because they did exactly the same thing, and he was 5 yards deep on the defender, and this time Knapp threw it inbounds and in a place where he could catch it. Great catch, great pass, and just what we needed before halftime.
So Franny in for the PAT. As they wait for the snap. Good snap placement. Kick is up. And it is good. So Fort Morgan 20. Pueblo County 7 on B106 and B106.com. 20-7 Fort Morgan with 48.9 seconds left here as Tate Kimball hauls in the pass from Dalen Knapp from 27 yards out.
Yep, Fort Morgan has thrown the ball 5 times and 2 completions and 1 interception. But those 2 completions, that one was much bigger. You talked about how the Hornets have thrown the ball just 3 times, all for one guy and only 1 catch out of all 3.
So Franny again approaches. Nice deep kick. It'll go into the end zone for another touchback. So that'll be 3 touchbacks so far for Franny. So the Hornets with a 1st and 10 from the 20. See what they want to come out and do here with basically 49 seconds left from their own 20. They line up receivers left and right. Martinez and Wilson are the wideouts. It's going to be a rollout by Paradiso. Pass out here to the left, and he fumbles it. Looked like it was. Oh, they're going to call it an incomplete pass. I thought he had it, and he was going to look like he might pitch it, but they're going to call it an incomplete pass.
And that was a good call as far as I'd say the officials giving them the benefit of the doubt, because Fort Morgan was going to get on that ball possibly, and you're right, it looked like the old hook and lateral.
Yeah. They called it a incomplete pass. So it brings up a 2nd and 10. Receivers left and right. Paradiso once again, shotgun formation. It's going to be a handoff to Muniz up the middle. And he is a strong runner as he keeps running, but he's only going to get a couple of yards. So he'll bring up about a 3rd and 8 from the 22.
Fritzler and friends on the stop.
Looks like maybe the Josh Langford and his defensive crew have made some adjustments here and kind of shut down that running game for the Hornets. So 3rd and 8 as we're down under 10 seconds now to go here in this first half of play. Paradiso shotgun formation once again, and it's going to be a keeper for him over this left side. And he fumbles the ball, and Fort Morgan gets on it. And Fort Morgan, the time will run out. But they're going to call. They're saying there's 0.1 second left on the clock. But they hit Paradiso at about the 30, and he fumbles the ball. So Fort Morgan will have 0.1 seconds to do something here. We'll see if they're going to bring Franny out, and he's going to have a timeout called. Fort Morgan, but we'll just leave it right here. I didn't see who laid that hit on Paradiso, but he coughed it up.
It was a great hit, though, and here you always wonder, you take the chance of getting the extra or the field goal, and it'd be nice to have that, but kicking from far back, there's always the possibility that they get a block, and you don't see blocked field goals return for touchdowns near as much in high school as you do in college and the pros, but you know, hopefully that line will hold and Franny will boot that ball through.
Looks like he's getting the tee set up at about the 34-yard line, so that'll be a 44-yard attempt from the left hash as they get ready, as they start the play clock. 0.1 seconds
That's a 34-yard field goal
for the Mustangs. And we'll see if Franny's got the foot and the accuracy to put it through. Snap back, ball is down, the kick is going to be blocked. And it's going to be taken about the 10, the 15 over that right side. And he is going to be run out of bounds over on the far sideline at about the 45. So the first half comes to an end. The Fort Morgan, we just had a flag thrown after play, and I don't know if that's going to be on. I don't know who
now they're going to call it on Fort Morgan. They threw the penalty after the Pueblo County guy threw the punch.
Yeah. I don't know
or maybe it wasn't a punch. Maybe it was just a shove.
More
we'll
of a
see.
shove. Was that Cade Bulis that they were pointing to? They're going to call it on Fort Morgan.
So it can't end on a defensive penalty, so they're going to get another play. Or maybe it's dead ball after the play.
Dead ball after the play, so I don't know if it'll be enforced on the kickoff.
I'd like to see the film of that because it looked like they were both chipping, and then as Bayless walked away, the other guy gave him a shove late, and that's when the official grabbed the flag. But regardless, that's the way it is.
That's the way the first half ends, so we are up 20-7. We will be back with the halftime show on B106 and B106.com. Back here at Legion Field in Fort Morgan, the Mustangs up 20-7 here at halftime. And they will put another 3 minutes on the clock as Pueblo County just did come back out onto the field. But what a beautiful day here. It was about 60 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. Beautiful day for high school football on the eastern plains of Colorado. And this field out here looks immaculate. I'd like to thank Rick Lapp and his crew for the job that they do all football season long to get this field ready, and looks quite nice today. So
it really does. You know, it's been such a mild fall, and we've had enough moisture. I'm sure they've kept the irrigation on this to keep it going. But even between the hash marks down around the 20s, where you usually see some damage, there's just very little damage at all. A couple weeks ago when we played after that rainstorm, they were talking about it being soggy and almost boggy out on the sides. So a very pretty field.
So Kevin had given you some scores. So the teams that won last night, that will pit Pueblo East and Discovery Canyon in a matchup next week. Pueblo East is a number 1. Discovery Canyon is an 8. So we will see how things unfold. We'll keep an eye on the scores as the game goes on. We'll try to keep an update on the Brush score as they're dealing with Bayfield, the number 1 seed in 2A, tied up with them. I believe you said it was 14-14.
Yes, sir.
So we will see here now where they kick this ball off from. We still have about a little over a minute left here. If that penalty will be enforced, I would guess it will be when they start this second period, as we had a personal foul on the Mustangs after the clock had run out. So we'll see if the Hornets want to try to onside kick, or if they're just going to kick it deep and let the Mustangs take over at the 20. So defensively for both teams, the leading tackler this is for the season now. Defensively, Toby McBride has 72 tackles. He has 20 for loss. Frank Rosales has 59 tackles. 5 of those are for loss. Jacob Fritzler, 58 tackles, 6 for loss. And Trey McBride, 55 tackles, 10 for loss. The team altogether has 55 tackles for loss this year. So nice job by the Mustangs as compared to the defense for the Hornets. They as a team have 20 for a loss. So the Hornets will kick off from the Mustang 45. So looks like Fort Morgan has some hands team up there on the front line as we are set here to start this second half of play. We'll see if they want to kick it off or they just scoot it along the ground. Once again, it's going to be picked up at the 15, the 20. And needs to hang on to that ball as that was Breidenbach takes it. So first and 10. Fort Morgan as they mark it at the 18-yard line.
82 yards to pay dirt, and let's just keep that ball moving in to the right.
That's right.
On your radio dial.
Looks like more about the 19. Looks like where they've got it set. I'll go with the 19. So we'll go 81 yards. So first and 10, I formation. Daniel split wide to the right. Looks like Bulis and McBride were lined up as ends. Oh, we just had somebody move, and that was
There's a flag.
Colton Carpenter leans. So that's going to cost the Mustangs 5. So that'll be a first and 15.
There's no real wind, so there's no field advantage going east or west, but certainly want to get a couple first downs so that your punt team can pin them down and not give them the ball at midfield. So
first and 15 from the 14 as Pueblo County lines up a bunch at the line. It's going to be a handoff to Tate Kimball around that right side. It looks open out there as he gets it back up across the 20.
Kimball over the left side.
So a nice run by Tate Kimball as he gets it up to the 23. So that will bring up a... Now we're going to stop the clock. Somebody has a...
Hansen on the tackle.
Number 74 for Pueblo has to go out. Daniel Hansen. I don't know if he's injured or what it is, but it will be
6'3", 230-pound lineman, so maybe this would be the time to run it up the middle, although they've got some big boys up front.
So they'll bring up 2nd and 8 for the Mustangs. I formation. Going to be a handoff to Tate over this left side. Nice big block out there, and he gets it across the 25, the 30, and finally brought down out of bounds. Rutherford brings him down out of bounds, but enough for the first down.
That's going to be a
So nice job by Tate as Toby McBride leads him once again around that right side. So 1st and 10, Fort Morgan, not the 32.
And Pueblo's defense is playing with a little bit of attitude. They don't like the fact that Fort Morgan's able to run up 7-8 yards a time at them. And so at the end, they're kind of giving an extra little shove. And hopefully that doesn't end up causing them to be penalized later on.
So 1st and 10, Fort Morgan I formation once again. Daniel split wide right. It's going to be a handoff to Toby. He has it opening up the middle as he's dragging that kid. He dragged him for about 7 yards. Now we have a flag thrown out here, and we're going to see who they call it on. As Trey McBride and Derek Rizzoli were hand fighting down this right side, so we'll see who they give it to. A personal foul. They're going to call it on for. Oh, they're going to go both ways, so it'll be offsetting. So they need to just learn not to. That was enough for the first down run by Toby, as he got it out to the 43. So 11-yard run there for Toby. But I think that from what I've seen, it looks like Pueblo County's been initiating this stuff, and then Fort Morgan thinks they have to retaliate, and that's when they see it. But apparently they caught both of them on this one. But it'll be 1st and 10, Fort Morgan from the 43. It's going to be a handoff to Tate as he cuts it back up the middle. And not much there this time. Maybe a yard.
Tate stacked up right at the line of scrimmage.
They're going to call it no gain. Well, let's see where they're going to put it.
Rutherford at the bottom of the pile.
Pretty much a no gain. So 2nd and 10 for Fort Morgan.
And as you look to playing next week, you certainly don't want any of your stars to get caught up in that retaliation and end up getting thrown out of the game over something stupid.
So I formation, Daniel split wide left. Trey set up as a tight end to the right. Be a pitch back to Tate. He follows Toby around that left side across the 50, and he may be enough for the first down. We'll see where they end up marking the ball. Tate does get up. It looked like he went down kind of awkward.
The guy who was supposed to be making the spot, wasn't even paying attention where the ball went out of bounds.
So it looks like he's going to be about a yard short, so it's going to bring up a 3rd and 1 from the 48-yard line.
Just short of the first down.
So Fort Morgan started this drive at their own 14.
This is the exact way you want your first drive of the second half to go. Just physically pound it down the field on them.
Full house backfield. It's going to be a... he breaks across the 45, the 40, 35, and he is going to be knocked out at about the 30-yard line. I think Pueblo County was expecting Toby to get the ball, and it was a counter to Arroyo as he had lined up to the right side and then took it back to the left. So it will be a 1st and 10 Fort Morgan from the 31.
And I tell you what, Anthony Arroyo has really come on as the season progressed, and it's so nice to have 3 backs so that you can use the other 2 as a decoy and then be able to hand it on a counter like that just opened wide open for him.
Yeah. Arroyo had 30 carries this season for 330 yards and 3 touchdowns. Full house backfield once again behind Knapp. tight formation for the Mustangs as they put Arroyo in motion. He sets up as a wing out to the right. It's going to be a pitch out to Toby. He is met out there and then brought down maybe for a yard loss.
McBride is put down by Atkins.
So we'll see where they end up putting it. It'll be a
second down and 11.
second and 11 from the 32.
Arroyo just didn't do a very good job of blocking the cornerback out there, and Toby had to take him on 5 yards deep and was able to get it back just for a loss of 1.
So Toby and Bulis and Arroyo come out. Daniel split wide right, Marquez to the left, and we have Frank Rosales as the lead back in front of Tate. We now have second and 11 down to 8:32 in the third quarter. Going to be a handoff to Frank Rosales. He gets it down to 25 and keeps his feet moving and finally ends up down up to about the 23. Looks like he'll be about a yard short.
Fights his way to the 23.
So nice job by Rosales.
Third down, a yard.
So 3rd and 1 from the 23-yard line.
His first carry on the night or of the day, and some hard running. And again, they're not going to expect you to hand off to your 4th or 5th runner.
Yep. So I formation once again. Toby back into the game, fumbled the ball, and I don't know who ended up. And Pueblo County ended up picking it up. And Weatherford picks it up, but Knapp never got the snap from center. So Fort Morgan runs almost half of the, and then runs it down to 7:39, and then are going to come up empty.
Yeah, not the way you want your first drive to end, but they still got good field position and physically dominated Pueblo County, giving them a little bit of a momentum shift here. But I think Fort Morgan will hopefully stuff them and get the ball back.
So Hornets 1st and 10 from their own 27. Paradiso lined up shotgun formation as he goes back and wants to pass out here, and it's going to be a pass down left side, and it's going to be caught as Trevor Gilmore gets behind the defense. There's a flag sitting at about the 31-yard line. Now it looks like it may be against Pueblo County. Just guessing by the way the one player was ineligible man downfield, so that pass will come back.
Obviously a coverage bust for Fort Morgan because someone let someone go way deep, and he was 5-6 yards behind the closest guy. Luckily, Pueblo County doesn't pass very much, so their offensive linemen don't know that they have to stay back and block.
They'll place the ball at the 22. Pueblo County will have it there 1st and 15.
1st and 15 for Pueblo County now. From the 22. T backfield, one receiver to the left, Paradiso under center. Going to be a handoff over that left side to Muniz as he gets it up out across the 25, almost back up to the original line of scrimmage.
Toby McBride on the tackle.
Going to be about a second
down
and 9.
I tell you what, it's so nice to have Nate Gertner playing this year. We've talked all season long about the senior coming out, having not played since. For him to be able to go out on their best receiver and cover him one-on-one and shut him down except for the one catch is really helpful.
Yep. So shotgun formation once again. Looks like Fort Morgan jumped again. I think that was Alex Mai that jumped. Trenton Forbes into the game. Alex Mai is going to come out.
Mustangs outside.
So that's a free 5 yards. So they'll bring up a 2nd and 4.
2nd down and 4.
From the 34. So Paradiso once again, shotgun formation. Receivers left and right. Muniz to his left as they put Martinez in motion. Going to be a handoff to Martinez out here on this left side. And they cut it back inside. Nice job there. I don't know what the flag was for.
Martinez on the sweep, stacked up at the 20.
There was a flag at about the 35.
There's a flag. Gertner on the tackle.
So we'll see if there was a face mask, if they're going to call holding on. That's the first holding call today on either team. So that will move the ball back from the 35 back to the 25. So that'll bring up about a 2nd and 2.
So the first two penalties against the Hornets offense on the night or on the day, and two big ones on what they want to try and build on their momentum type of drive.
Outside
So bring up about a
2nd down and 13.
2nd down and 13. From the 25. Paradiso takes off on that left side and upended over on that far side. And I believe that was Tyler Dunn out there on that tackle. As Paradiso gets it back out to the 27-yard line. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 10 from the 27. So we'll see if the Mustangs can hold here and force a 4th down. We're down to 6:17 in this 3rd period. Mustangs up 20-7.
Good defensive stand so far for the Mustangs.
Paradiso shotgun formation. Looks out to his left. Pass is tipped, and it's going to be intercepted by the Mustangs. I believe it was tipped by Toby and intercepted by Trey McBride, I believe.
Yeah, Trey went up like he was rebounding, a couple weeks from now when basketball season starts, and he jumps up there and just grabs that ball. And great turnover back and gives Fort Morgan offense that field position that they had before their turnover.
So nice job there by the Mustangs on the defense. So give the Mustang offense another shot, as it will be 1st and 10 Mustangs from the 29.
Usually it's Trey that does the blocking of the passes. This time someone else tipped it, and he was just there to catch it coming down.
So I formation once again is going to be to Toby. Not much there as he tries to stiff arm a kid and does. Stiff arm another time, and he keeps dragging kids as he is going to get down to about the 25. And there's going to be a flag because I think they ended up taking the helmet. We're going to see if that's against Pueblo County. He ended up with his helmet coming off.
What a tough kid Toby McBride is, and we've talked about his wrestling ability and everything else.
Personal foul, face mask, so that's another 15 yards. That's why his helmet came off.
I mean, he got 4 yards before that penalty, and he carried guys and threw them off of them and shrugged them off. And
he was initially hit about the line of scrimmage. Well, he was even hit about a yard behind the line of scrimmage. Stiff-armed that kid and just stiff-armed his way for a 4-yard gain, and then was taken down by the face mask. So it'll bring up a 1st and 10 Fort Morgan from the 13-yard line.
13, the Mustangs will have it there, 1st down and 10.
So Toby apparently has to sit out one play.
I think they just took him out because they wanted to give him a break, because in a face mask penalty like that, they can stay in.
So Frank Rosales, it's going to be a handoff to Rosales. Not much there. Pueblo County, there's another flag. I'm not sure what that was way after the play also, so we'll see what that. They're saying, Frank Rosales is saying a face mask as he comes off. So we'll see what the refs come up with here. We'll get the notification. Now they're pointing at Fort Morgan. Unsportsmanlike conduct both ways.
Looks like we've had offsetting penalties.
So it is, like you said, it's chippy out there.
The net result is going to be a 2nd down and 10.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 13.
And I think it's time for the coaches on the sideline to be talking to their players. Let's play football.
Well, why are they marking it back if it was, I guess I don't understand.
Maybe they'll mark it back the other way then when they're done. Because it's half the distance the other way, maybe.
Okay, so it'll go. Usually I thought it was just offsetting and the ball would be there. Maybe once it's inside the 20. We will see where it ends up being put. So
it should go to the 14, half the distance. So
14.
We end up losing a yard on that.
So that will run. So will it be second down or will it be first down again? They didn't switch it over there. They have second down on the scoreboard. It will be second down.
Second down and 11.
Second and 11 after all that is worked out. So Toby back into the game. Marquez comes out. And Fort Morgan just broke the huddle with 12 players.
We got a fight.
1, 2,
There's
3,
only
4,
10.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We only have 10
We
out
only
there.
got 10, so it's not a penalty. How can it be an illegal slip? I only see 10.
Yeah, there's only 10 out there.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's only 10 out there. He's supposed to be out there. There's only 10. But maybe because he went off the field?
He's going to count and see.
There's only 10. So there should be not.
He's going to have to take off his shoes to count.
So it shouldn't be a penalty. They're still trying to count. I thought he was just going to kick his shoe off there. Shouldn't take that long
Would
to
you
count.
like us to line up?
Spread out and line up. That should be. Wave it off. Thank you. Jeez. Takes him 5 minutes to count to see it.
We counted them again.
Yeah.
They're waving it off.
Maybe the officials are getting chippy too. And
Anyway.
now second and 11. Now they have first down back on the marker, but I think it's second down.
Yeah, it should be second and they have second. Well, it should be second and 11. Going to be a handoff to Tate over that left side. Breaks it outside. Puts it up the middle. Down to the 5. Into the end zone. Touchdown. Tate Kimball. As he takes it in from 14 yards out for the touchdown. And who's
Two
down?
players down. We got a player down from Pueblo East who's limping back, and someone from Morgan that's down.
Morgan
too.
may be cramping. I'm not. It looked like they were.
That or his ankle. Nice run by Tate.
Is it Toby or is it Trey?
That does look like a cramp now. They're trying to stretch it out.
Anyway, 5:03 to go. Fort Morgan down 26-7. After all that, and Tate Kimball takes it in from 14 yards out. That makes me feel a little bit better. Down to 5:03.
Caleb Bell going in on the extra point. It is Trey with the cramp.
Get that worked out. We need him in there.
Those calf cramps can hurt, that's for sure. You wouldn't think on a fall day you'd have to worry about it, but it's hot, and if you're not drinking a lot of fluid, it can catch up with you.
So that drive took 59 seconds after it was all said.
Randy to attempt to point out of that hole.
So PAT coming up here. As Tate Kimball takes it in over the left side. Dalen Knapp, the holder, not a good snap, but he gets it down and the kick is up and good. So now Fort Morgan 27, Pueblo County 7 on B106 and B106.com. Back here at Legion Field in Fort Morgan, the Mustangs now go up 27-7 after Tate Kimball takes it in from 14 yards out. So a nice job here this afternoon, and don't have any new updates yet. Kevin was looking at the score of the Palisade game, and I think it's still at half.
Right. Buena Vista now up 36-0 against Wiggins. So Wiggins having a good season, but looks like they're going to be handing the pads in this next week and moving on to basketball, wrestling. Always a big sport over there.
Yep. So the first score of the second half goes to the Mustangs. Randy Gonzalez with the ball on the tee. Another nice deep kick. It's going to come down at about the 3, across the 10, the 15, the 20, and out about the 25. I believe it was Jimmy Keller
Atkins on the return.
on the tackle.
Another local score. Sterling is losing 21-0 down in La Junta. La Junta, I think, also the number 1 seed. tough road for Sterling down there, former Tri-Valley League participant and longtime rival of Fort Morgan.
So 1st and 10 for the Hornets with 4:55 to go. Third period.
You mentioned the clock, and that's turning out to be one of their enemy now with 3 scores down.
They put Martinez in motion left to right, and it's going to be handed off and taken down in the backfield. Nice job. I see who that is that gets up over there.
Reverse. Pulled down at about the 21. There is a flag.
I believe that was Toby that time. They have a flag back about the 27.
That's got to be a hold. You wouldn't expect any kind of penalty other than holding right there in the middle of the line. Okay,
holding, and then we'll mark them back, and that'll be 10 yards from after the tackle. So that'll be 10 yards from the 20. We'll see if they're going to decline it.
It'd be from the flag, so it would have moved it back just another 3 yards and given them another down. So we'll take the huge loss of yardage back to the 21.
Yep. We're going to decline the penalty and take it second.
Penalty against the Hornets is declined.
Second down about 14.
And he's now -2 for the day on 4 carries.
So shotgun formation, they put a man in motion left to right, and it's going to be a keeper by Paradiso. He gets it out across the 30, but not enough for the first down. I don't know why they're stopping the...
Paradiso on the keeper, pulled down by Daniels.
They stopped the clock.
I don't know.
Jimmy Keller.
They were waving to stop it, but it's still third down.
It's going to be third down about a yard.
3rd and 1 from the 34. Paradiso on the keeper. Lined up in the shotgun formation once again. Receivers left and right. Puts a man in motion to the right. It's going to be a keeper by Paradiso once again across the 40, across the 45, and he is going to be brought down and finally into Fort Morgan territory. So there's something open there on that time on that right side.
And I wondered because when I watched the highlights of them, in their game against Pueblo East, they ran that play several times for a lot of yards. And today that's only the second time they've done it, 2 times in a row, and Paradiso is getting some open territory there.
So 1st and 10 Hornets from the Fort Morgan 45. Trey getting some water, trying to get some fluids in there. Maybe get him back out there on that defense. Shotgun formation once again. It's going to be a handoff to Muniz as he is open down to the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and he will take it all the way for the score for the Hornets.
Muniz on the carry, he's into the end zone.
So Muniz takes it from 45 yards out to bring the score now 27-13 with 3:26 left here in the third period.
And I see Trey out. I don't know whether any of the other starters are out. I see Alex Mai on the sideline. Maybe they're just giving everyone a rest and thinking that they could hold on, and it didn't work out for them. A couple of huge plays and big momentum builder.
So Muniz with the touchdown run, point after try coming up here. As we have flags on the play.
And neither of the side judges, neither of the side judges called offside, so.
Only 5 yards back for the PAT. You see their kicker is Alejandro Augustin, a 5'6" junior. Fort Morgan looks to try to block that kick. Looks like it's going to be wide left. If I can, I can't tell from here. So that kick is up and good. So with 3:26 to go, Fort Morgan 27, Pueblo County 14 on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickel with Kevin Rohde here at Legion Field in Fort Morgan as the Mustangs are up 27-14 after J.J. Muniz just took it in from 45 yards out. The PAT good for the Hornets.
So they're back in it with 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Certainly enough time for them to get a couple scores, but Fort Morgan's going to have to put some offensive yardage up.
So see where kind of a kickoff they have here if they squib it again. going to be taken at about the 10 by Daniels up across the 15, the 20. Oh, he dropped the ball, but I think he got back on it.
Ball comes loose.
Didn't look like he was hit very hard. Somebody just grabbed his arm and it came loose, but he got...
What a huge play that would have been if that would have bounced their way, and with their momentum going, giving them the ball back down there at the 24.
First down and 10.
So Trey back in. So 1st and 10, Fort Morgan from the 24. So we need another time-consuming drive here for the Mustangs.
Give that defense a little time to rest, although they weren't out there very long. It was a pretty quick drive for the Hornets.
So I formation, Marquez split wide right, left. Going to be a counter to the right to Tate Kimball. He gets across the 25, across the 30, and brought down at the 35-yard line, enough for the first down. So 1st and 10, Fort Morgan from the 35.
And he has just developed into such a hard runner. I remember when he was a freshman, and he would run around that side, and it was like he really almost didn't want that contact. Of course, it was a freshman going against seniors. I can understand that. And each year, as the years have progressed, his running style has changed to where he's really a tough runner and doesn't mind taking the contact and dragging a few players with him.
So now we have a T formation. Tate Kimball and John Hoeknall, I believe, in the backfield for Fort Morgan. Tate around this right side. Nice block out here. 40, 45, 50, 45, 40. He's going to go 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown.
They got a hold.
We got a flag back here at the 49.
And Trey's cramping up again. It's going to be a hold.
So it'll probably come back.
Yeah, so hold the horses.
Yeah, it's coming back. So that'll be 10 yards. That'll bring up it'll be first down once again from about the 38-yard line this time, the Mustangs' own 38. Be interesting to know who they call that.
39. The Mustangs will have it there. First down and 7.
Who the penalty was on. I thought Hoeknall had a nice lead block out there, and I don't know if it was on him or not. So
it was someone down in the middle, way behind the play, obviously.
So it looks like about a 1st and 6 from the 39. For the Mustangs, Toby back in as the lead blocker. I formation, and then we have a Mustang jump over on that left side.
There's a flag.
Look like Jorge Ramos moves, so that's going to take it back 5, so bring up a 1st and 11.
And the coaching staff's just got to be going crazy.
1st and 12.
They should have this. Yeah, there's no reason for movement like that. You try to get a hard count to draw them off, and then your own man jumps. So 1st and 11 from the own 34. It's going to be a handoff to Tate over that left side. He kind of slips, but he is taken down by Donovan Rincon.
Similar over the left side. Tackled by Rincon.
So gain of 1.
Gain yards.
So bring up 2nd and 10 from the 35. Down to 2:14 in the third period.
Now the sun's starting to go down and more of the fans are all in the shade and people starting to put on coats.
Handoff to Tate over this right side. Not much. It looked like the ball came out, and I think Pueblo County may have jumped on it.
But they're saying he's down.
We're going to say
on the side.
Okay.
But again, tough yardage all of a sudden for Tate.
Gain of 1. So
Kimball pulls down at the 36.
So a gain of 1. So bring up 3rd and 9 from the 36.
Right now, when we need our 6'4" or 5" tight end going downfield, he's on the sideline getting hydrated.
So Marquez split wide left, I formation again for the Mustangs. Pitch back to Tate, cuts it up the middle, and he is going to be hit about the 37. He's going to get it out probably about to the 39. It'll bring up a 4th down. 4th and 6.
But uses a little more time, gets the punt team a little more room to punt and kick down and pin them down deep in their territory.
Take as much time off the clock as they can. We're now down under 50 seconds in the 3rd period. Looks like Pueblo County has Elijah Martinez back as a returner, and he's sitting at about 27. And now we're going to have a timeout by Fort Morgan. So we'll take one with them here. The Mustangs up 27-14 on B106 and B106.com. Back here at Legion Field in Fort Morgan with 36.9 seconds left in the 3rd period. Fort Morgan will have to punt. And that was enough time to get Trey back in. I thought he was going to be the long snapper. He is the long snapper. Cade Bulis had been in for just a minute to snap, but Trey is in to do the snapping, so he will snap to Tate Kimball. Nice snap back. Nice end over end punt. Going to hit about the 28 and get a nice Mustang roll. It's down inside the 15 to about the 12-yard line. So nice punt there by Tate Kimball.
Frank Rosales cramping up too out there in the middle of the field. And Fort Morgan's going to have to work on getting some hydration in to these young men. He needs to come out. He cannot stay in and play defense.
Now they'll see that, and he plays that linebacker position. It's going to be 1st and 10. Who else was? Looked like Nate Gertner was stretching out there, but 1st and 10. Hornets from their own 12.
I'm sure the Pueblo County coach wanting to know why his men didn't get underneath that and catch that.
Well, I saw on their punt returns, and I don't know if it was right, they had 4 punt returns for 8 yards for the season. So apparently they don't return punts. But it's going to be a pass down this left side and well over the head. It was a pass by the back by Martinez. Over the head of their intended receiver, Jake Wilson. So I'll bring up a 2nd and 10 with 20.3 seconds left in the 3rd period.
So they've tried the halfback pass. They tried the hook and lateral. Or lateral. Anyway, they're pulling out all the tricks to try and catch Fort Morgan.
Martinez is going to be a run around this left side. Gets past Tate Kimball and then finally knocked out of bounds.
I think Rosales would have had him if he didn't have that cramp. They need to get him out of there.
Run out of bounds at about the 22.
So it's enough for the 1st down. So that'll be 1st and 10 for the Hornets. After Paradiso takes it 10 yards. Well, apparently didn't go down out of bounds, so this will run the clock out for the 3rd period. So at the end of 3, the Fort Morgan Mustangs 27-14 over the Hornets on B106 and B106.com. Back here at Legion Field to start this 4th period of play. 1st and 10 Hornets. It's going to be a handoff over that left side to Muniz. Gets it out to the 25 for a gain of 3. 2nd and 7 from the 25.
He had to work hard for that. He was hit early and spun off and got a couple yards after contact.
So 2nd and 7. Martinez splits wide right. Wilson to the left. A shotgun formation. It's going to be a handoff to Muniz once again up the middle. And he's going to get a gain of
the left side.
Maybe 3. See where they put it down. Looks like he'll be out to the 29, maybe a gain of 4.
3rd down and 5.
So 3rd and 5 from the 29. It's a big stop here. The Mustangs are looking for on defense is Paradiso. Shotgun formation. They put Martinez in motion left, right. Snap is on the ground. Pass over here to this left side. And it's intercepted. Oh, wow. It was intercepted and then run into Almost intercepted, then run into by his own man. Then it looked like it almost went into the hands of the Hornet guy, and it finally ended up on the ground. So it'll bring up a 4th down and 5.
4th down and 5.
Yeah, a lot of things could have happened on that play, and the last one was not good with 35 almost catching it and going the distance. So I wonder at this point whether they feel they need to punt. You'd hate to give up this good a field position, but in the fourth quarter, you're not going to have the ball that many more times.
Because he doesn't line up deep when he punts, so we'll see what he does here. Paradiso, he's going to take it down and run it over that left side, and we'll see where they put it. Looks like he might have got the first down. I was wondering if he might not do that sometime. We'll see where they finally mark it.
Almost looked like he was going to punt it.
They're going to give it to him.
The opening.
That's first down.
So 1st and 10 as they continue the drive from the 33. Did just get enough. As Wilson now splits wide to the right. Martinez left. Paradiso shotgun formation with Muniz to his right. Put Martinez in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Martinez. He gets across the 35, and that's about the ball. And Fort Morgan is on it.
Woo! All righty, Fort Morgan. Great defensive play there to strip the ball and get it back.
Trey McBride comes up with it. So nice job there as Martinez was going down, and he got his arm pulled and let go of the ball. So 1st and 10, Fort Morgan from the 37-yard line. So great field position here for the Mustangs. Get this back up to a 3-touchdown lead would be great. 1st and 10 from the 37. That came with 10:40 left in the contest. I formation once again. Going to be a handoff to Tate Kimball over that right side. Gets it down inside the 35. And driven back. He'll get it about 4 yards down to the 33, 32-yard line.
Martinez on the bottom.
So 2nd down.
Ball's going to be spotted at the 32.
I'm going to say 2nd and 6 after that 4-yard gain down to the 30. Down to the 33-yard line.
Yeah, you get 4 yards on a play, you're going to get the first down, and you're going to just eat up that clock and leave Pueblo County with nothing but a bus ride home.
10 minutes left here in the 4th period. Handoff this time left side to Tate Kimball. Cuts it up, and he is hit hard about the line of scrimmage. He will get a little gain. That'll bring up a 3rd down. And we'll give him a couple. 3rd down and 4 from the 31. So he was
his 24th carry on the day. He's been the workhorse. Toby's only got 6 carries, and Arroyo has the 5.
So 3rd and 4 for the Mustangs. I formation once again. Trey McBride lines up as a tight end to the right side. Cade Bulis to the left with Marquez out to the wide receiver to the left. Down to about 9 minutes. Now we have a flag. They called delay a game on Fort Morgan.
On the Mustangs. Move it back 5.
So you'd think he would have been looking back at that back judge.
As much time as he spent staring at that back judge all season long. You know, when you're up by 46, you wait till he starts waving before you take the snap.
So they'll bring about 3rd and 9 from the 37. From the 36. Somebody's trying to get there. Cade Bulis getting his shoe tied, so they've stopped play here for just a minute, so makes it a little tougher 3rd down conversion now. As they wind that clock, we'll be down under 9 minutes when this snap takes place. Marquez once again to the left. High formation for the Mustangs. Going to be a fake handoff, and it's going to be almost a great catch, but it was a low pass to Trey and goes through his hands. So that'll bring up a 4th down for Fort Morgan, 4th and 9 from the 36.
And I think here, so deep in their territory, you go for it, although you could punt it and get another. It looks like maybe they're going to punt and get another 16 yards on it, even if they kick it out of the end zone.
Yeah, so they send Martinez back. He's down inside the 10, about to the 5. As Tate
back for the Hornets.
is going to line up about the 47 and wait for the snap. Nice snap back. Left-footed punt is going to hit about the, I don't know why Trey touched it. It's going to be touched at about the 10, about the 11. But better field position than at the 36, so.
So here we go. Pueblo County needing 2 touchdowns to regain the lead, and
Done at 8:43.
8:43 and 90, almost 90 yards to go. Yep, right at the 10.
Right at the 10. So first and 10 from the 10. Fort Morgan took about 2 minutes off the clock on that possession. You now have Martinez split wide right, Wilson to the left, shotgun formation. Snap back. Paradiso's going to keep it out here to the left. He gets across and out to the 15. It'll be a gain of 5. So I'll bring up a second and 5 from the 15.
Pull down at the 15.
And if they only get 5 yards a carry, we'll let them just march down and score with about 30 seconds left.
It looks like Anthony Arroyo may be cramping up. Yeah, he's up and off the field, so not quite as severe as Trey's, but Trey is still out there, so he's over his cramp situation at the moment.
Gertner stretching his calf. Several of them seem to have that problem today, and haven't seen any of it on the Pueblo County side. So I don't know whether it's the black jerseys, the heat, and you're not used to it this time of year.
So shotgun formation once again. Paradiso rolls out to his left, being hounded out there by Alex Mai. It's going to be flipped and then taken down by Trey McBride. Muniz with the reception, but didn't get much on the play. Maybe 1.
17, 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, that was a smart little play by Paradiso. He just kept kind of scrambling out and waiting till he had someone to throw to.
3rd and 3 from the 17. Shotgun formation, receivers left and right. Muniz with the ball up the middle, and he's going to have enough for the first. No, maybe not. I'll see where he goes. They're going to mark this close ref here. Marks him at about the at the 20. But we'll let that clock run. It looks like they may be just short. So we're going to bring up 4th and short, but still 4th and 1. And that clock will run. So 4th and 1 from the 29.
And what a huge stop it'd be here if we could stuff the run.
Paradiso in the shotgun formation. Muniz to his right. Receivers left and right. Paradiso's going to take it himself. He gets it across the 20. So he will pick up the first down and get it out to about the 23. So 1st and 10 for the Hornets as they unpile. 6:45 to go in the 4th period. Fort Morgan up 27-14. See where they mark this ball at. Okay, it's about the 20. About the 24-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Hornets as they have receivers left and right. Shotgun formation for Paradiso. He gets it and rolls out to his right, looks out here, and it's going to be a pass down this left side, but it's going to be just out of the reach of the intended receiver. And nice coverage there by Fort Morgan, and that is Angelo Rivera. Now he's
Killer and Daniels on the cover. 2nd down and 10.
Injured. One of them might have hit his knee. So Kyle Daniels, I don't know if Kyle went in for him. Somebody, maybe Tate went in. But that will bring up a 2nd and
another
10
cramp situation. And he was beat deep, and he was able to get back and get to him and hit him just as he went out of bounds on the catch.
So 2nd and 10 from the 23, from the 24. It's going to be a keeper by Paradiso over that left side. And I think the ball came out, but it was after he was already down, so it'll bring up a third down as he gets it across the 25 to the 26, I guess, so that'll bring up a 3rd and 8. From the 26 as Paradiso runs it for 2 yards. Same formation as before. Paradiso waits for the snap, and it's going to be to Muniz this time over that left side, and not much there. There's a host of Mustangs. They're going to give him credit out to about the 28. That'll bring up a 4th down.
And a little harder 4th down to make than last time, 4th and 4. This time 4th and 7.
4th and 7 from the 28, and they look like they're going to go for it. They almost have to. They're down 2 touchdowns with a little over 5 minutes. Paradiso looks down here to the left. It's going to be a pass out here, and it's going to be caught. And enough for the 1st down. He does not go out of bounds. The ball is taken. We'll see if Fort Morgan. It is Fort Morgan ball. Nice ball by Frank Rosales.
Well, and he was right on the sideline. Good thing there's no instant replay high school football, because they might have caught him out of bounds before he got the ball. But now looks like they're talking and trying to figure some stuff out.
No, looks like it'll be Mustang ball. 1st and 10, Fort Morgan. I believe that was
yes, sir.
Adrian Soto, I believe. That was that number 22 that caught that. Had plenty of yardage for 1st down, then tried to keep going, and then was hit and stripped of the ball. And then taken right on the sideline. So 1st and 10, Fort Morgan down to 5:13. In the game, off to Tate Kimball as he bounces it outside, gets it down inside the 45, and stays in bounds, I believe. So that was 1st and 10 from the Hornet 48.
About the 43.
So a run by Tate Kimball will bring up about a 2nd and 4 from the 43-yard line. So Fort Morgan now just needs to milk this clock. We're down to 4:42. They're up 27-14. High formation once again for the Mustangs. Marquez split to the left. Now Knapp is watching that back, judges, waits for the clock to go down. There is the signal now, and Cade Bulis decided he was going to go early.
We've got a play.
So that's going to take him back 5. So 2nd and 9.
He hadn't even gotten under there to make any noise at all, and why would Cade Bulis be jumping on that?
I don't know what they're... Okay.
I think they're thinking it's like in the pros where if the other guy moves, you can go, but that's only if he's across the neutral zone, and he wasn't across the neutral zone. Clearly, Cade Bulis just jumping offside, so now we'll have 2nd down and 9.
2nd down and 9 from the 47. That stops the clock on a penalty. So I formation for the Mustangs. Wait for the snap, gets the snap to Tate over that right side, cuts it across the 25, or down the 45, down inside the 40. And it looks like it may be enough for the 1st down. They're stopping the clock. We'll see if they measure or if they're going to give it to them. So they're going to stop the clock and see what they've got enough for the 1st.
They're going to call them out to measure. Pueblo Central or County coach is all the way out there where the ball's being spot, saying you make sure you measure that.
So they will take time to spot it. Pete's Farmers Cooperative have been in business since 1915, and they are still the small town company that cares about each of their individual customers. See them for all your propane, fuel, and farm needs. See what they do here if they stretch it out, and Fort Morgan has enough. Looks like it's going to be just short. It's going to be 3rd and inches. Or excuse me, 2nd down and inches.
No, it's 3rd.
I can't count.
Well, I'm not sure, but very close. And that's all right. We'll just take one more play, get some more time off the clock.
So it'll be 3rd and 1. It'll be actually 3rd and short. Pueblo County's going to take a timeout, so we'll take on with them with 4:16. Mustangs up 27-14 on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickel with Kevin Rohde here as the Mustangs look to close this game out with 4:16 to go, up 2 touchdowns, 27-14. Hard-fought ball game for the Mustangs. Their most physical and hardest game that they've had this year.
Absolutely, and it looks like, comparing just 2 games, which you never can, but comparing the game of Pueblo County against Pueblo East and Pueblo County against us, we look pretty good considering that Pueblo East is undefeated as well.
3rd and short. Toby is the lead back. Dalen just needs to snap it because the play clock's not running anyway, so he just needs to go ahead and go. He waits for the snap. It's going to be they think they missed that. They missed the handoff to Toby. So Pueblo County will call another timeout. So that'll bring up a 4th down. Not sure what the play call was, but it was a loss back to about the 42.
So 4th and 3.
Timeout, Pueblo County.
So 4th and 3 from the 42-yard line.
Snap on the keeper is pulled down behind.
So we'll see if Fort Morgan goes ahead and
4th and 3.
will punt. I would guess they probably will out this far out. They don't want to give Pueblo County any more yardage than necessary. We're down to 4:09 to play here this afternoon.
Unless you line up and try and draw them off, because another 5 yards isn't going to make any difference on your punt team. And drawing them off would certainly get you, but they're just going to punt, and that's the smart move.
Trey back in there to snap. He was still kind of favoring that leg a little bit, but it's good enough that he can be in there. So
Pueblo County's pretty much used up their timeouts then. I think they might have one left.
Yeah, I know they've used 2 here, back to back here.
Sure, they're going to try and block this.
So Tate waits for the snap. Good snap back. Oh, nice deep punt by Tate. It's going to be taken just at the goal line. If they can get him back there, he's going to bring it out. But he had terrible field position. Nice job, though, by the Mustangs on that punt coverage, as it is going to be inside the 5 at about the 4.
Yeah, that was a great punt and a really poor decision by their punt return guy. Maybe that's why they haven't returned more than 4 punts all year. They say just let it go and we'll take it where it comes out.
Yeah, because he actually caught it about the. I'm not sure he didn't catch it in the end zone, but he might have caught it about the 1 and then step back into the end zone and then get brought back out to the 4.
But I don't think the same rule applies on punts as on kickoffs. I think you can catch them in the end zone and return them at your own peril.
So 3:53 left here.
So we're calling it the 4-yard line?
Yeah. Shotgun formation as Paradiso rolls out here to his left. It's going to be a pass down the left side. It's going to be picked off by Angelo Rivera about the 25-yard line. Angelo Rivera steps in front of number 22, and that's Adrian Soto. And that may just seal the contest right there for the Mustangs.
And that's the second interception for Paradiso, and you can't really fault the guy. He hasn't passed all season long. They have 200 yards, 250 yards of passing for the entire season, and now they're in a situation where they have to. And he just tossed it up there, and luck had it that Fort Morgan had a great defensive play and got that ball.
So Mustangs now 1st and 10 from the Hornet 25 with 3:46 to go. Knapp under center, I formation. Going to be a handoff to Toby over that right side. Not much there. He'll get it down to the. Won't get any gain. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Pulled down the line of scrimmage.
And now we have we got flags in the backfield, so I don't know if did they have too many men on the field?
Someone from Fort Morgan got down there and got a hold or personal foul.
Because there was 2 flags back there. We have a dead ball. personal foul on Pueblo County.
Foul on the Hornets.
Boy, that's
So-
just a killer right there for them.
Something happened after the play.
Palisade comes back and is up 28-14 with 4 minutes in the fourth. So looks like we're going to be here next week. Another game at Legion Field. That's the place I want to be, I'll tell you that.
Now we have unsportsmanlike conduct on Pueblo County, so that'll be another half the distance once they just put the ball down to the 13-yard line. So Pueblo County's can't keep their tempers. So this is going to bring up a first and goal from about the 6 or 7.
This is where you got to tell your kids, do not get in a fight because you get kicked out for these last 3 minutes. You're gone for the next game, too.
Yeah. So Trey going back into the game. Caleb Bell comes out. So first and goal from the 6.
Down in Brush, Bayfield up 28-14 on Brush with 2 minutes in the fourth. Wiggins done 50-6 down in Buena Vista.
Knapp goes back under center. I formation. Marquez split wide left. Wait for the snap. It's going to be a handoff to Toby. And he drags tacklers, but does not get much.
McBride stacked up at about the line of scrimmage.
So it'll bring up a second down. And goal. Still from the 6.
Atkins and Atkins there.
And at this point, it's probably just as important to take 3 plays to score as it is to score.
Second and goal. We're down now under 3 minutes, down to 2:48 and counting. Fort Morgan up 27-14 over a very tough Pueblo County Hornets ball club. High formation once again, going to be to Tate over that right side, cuts it inside the 5, and he is into the end zone for the touchdown. Tate Kimball takes it in from 6 yards out. Makes the score now 33-14.
That's his 27th carry. He's going to be one tired young man. And we're going to have a lot of people sore from the cramping because even though you get that stretched out, those muscles are still sore for a couple days. It's pretty bad.
So nice lead block again out there by Toby McBride. As Tate Kimball follows him in. 2:28 to go now. As now we have a flag down. We have unsportsmanlike conduct again on Pueblo County. Boy, they have just lost their temper and an ejection. That might have been the same. I don't know who it was, but I thought I just.
No, they're telling he doesn't want to leave.
No, he's got to go. He's just been thrown out. That's that Weatherford that was being so aggressive during the game. So apparently couldn't keep his mouth shut. So we will see what I'm not sure what they're doing over on that far sideline.
Talking to the coach,
telling him what happened or what he did. 33-14 now. Fort Morgan is able to go on to the quarterfinals next week. And if Palisade.
Looks like he has to maybe leave the bench area and go to the locker room too.
So Weatherford, 5'10" senior on his last game, is thrown out of the game.
You know, and he played really well first half and was very disruptive to Fort Morgan's running game in the second quarter. You hate to see that, for any player, but good for the officials to say enough's enough, and you're not going to sit there and continue to, pop off and say things and try and provoke the other team.
Unsportsmanlike against Pueblo County, the player has been ejected.
So point after still will come, and then the penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. So the PAT for Frenny Gonzalez coming up. Nice snap. Kick is up. And good once again, as we like to hear that cannon go off. For every touchdown, that round puts the Mustangs up by 20, 34-14. After Kimball takes it in from 6 yards out, then the PAT is good.
We don't give credit to Gary Cleaver. He's been firing off that cannon for a lot of years down there. Gary, I was talking to him before the game. He built that cannon, I think, in '91, he said. And he's been loading it with a lot of powder over the years.
Yeah, and I think they're going to mark that penalty off to the Hornet 45.
So do you think Franny can get it into the end zone?
It'll be a stretch, but I think he'll get her there.
Maybe he can get a field goal. You see that in college and pros. Sometimes the kicker kicks it hard enough that it goes through the goalpost.
So 3 plays after the ball was intercepted by Angelo Rivera. Mustangs put it in.
Had a little contest this week. Mrs. Rhodey and myself calculated out approximately how many jumping jacks the girls had done in the regular season. We couldn't go back and figure out exactly where extra points were scored or not scored when we missed them. So what would be your guess for the season, regular season, not counting today?
Well, I know we scored over about 506 points or so it's got to be 506 or 510 or someplace in there. So.
Well, and then, of course, not only do they do the 50 when we score 50, but they did 42 before that and 35 before that. So it turns out it was somewhere around 1,270 jumping jacks during the year. And so the girls are proud of the number of jumping jacks they had. So let's hope we can finish out this game without any more penalties and no one else getting ejected and hurt.
Yep.
Fort Morgan leaving their starters out there, which, I guess at this point you respect your opponent and finish the game.
So shotgun formation, receivers left and right. Paradiso rolls out to his left. It's going to be a pass back to Wilson. He gets it at the 20, and he will be brought down short of the first down, but it was a throwback to Wilson. So 2nd and 1 from the 29.
And he's a tall kid, but he didn't look very comfortable running with that ball after the catch.
So Martinez split wide to the left. Going to be a run by Paradiso. He gets it across the 30, the 35-40. He is a quick kid once he gets that hole. He gets it out to the 40. Excuse me, out to the 43.
That's a first down.
So 1st and 10 for the Hornets as they wind the clock. We're down under 2 minutes, minute 55. Paradiso gets the ball, hands it off to Muniz, bunts it out to the right side. And nice tackle there by Jacob Fritzler as he holds on and brings him down for a gain of about 3.
Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8.
So we're going to call it gain of 3, give him 2nd and 7 out to the
Muniz
47.
18th carry and Paradiso 19, so they've kept that balanced.
Quick pass, and it's going to be intercepted out in the flat. That's intercepted by Tyler Dunn as he gets it down to the 30, the 25, the 20s. He's got a lead blocker out there. Nice block, and he is going to be into the end. No, maybe they're going to call him out just short of the end zone, about the 1. But Tyler Dunn out there was a quick pass out into that left flat, and Tyler Dunn was right there.
3rd interception for Fort Morgan on the day. And that one just an ill-advised pass and a great play by Dunn.
So the Mustangs 1st and goal from the 1. So we'll see how they want to play this. They're going to try to punch it in or kneel on it. I don't know if Pueblo County has any.
Can they just down it and
they can
finish up the clock?
Yeah, we're down to a minute 14. They're lined up in the I formation. They may just want to put it to them. I'm not sure. So, and Knapp will keep it, and he will go in for the touchdown. Dalen Knapp on the keeper takes it in from 1 yard out. So now 40-14, Fort Morgan with the PAT coming up. So nice job by the Mustang defense to set up that touchdown for the offense. Franny lines up now for the PAT. Waits for the ball to go down. It is down. Kick is up and looks straight. And with a minute 10, the Fort Morgan Mustangs now 41, Pueblo County 14 on B106 and B106.com.
Pueblo County 14.
Back here at Legion Field, the Fort Morgan Mustangs now up 41-14 after Knapp takes it in from 1 yard out. And people, I think, were kind of questioning. I kept hearing it from different people. Well, how good really is Fort Morgan after they play in the Sakaro 7 League, go 10-0, just how good they really are. Well, I think they proved it today that they're a pretty darn good football team. For this Pueblo County team, they had 4 losses, but 3 of them were to playoff teams, and the other one was to a 4A team. So, and that ball is going to go into the end zone for a touchback.
Bring out the 20, the Hornets.
So first and 10 for the Hornets from the 20. We're down to the last 70 seconds here of this contest.
They're got that starting defense, I think, for the most part, still out there. They got Trey and Toby out. They still got Gertner and Daniels and
got a lot of them out there. It looks like Fritzler's a starter. He's already out there. So shotgun formation. Paradiso is going to take it over that left side. Breaks it out across the 30, 35, 40. And finally drug down out of bounds. Have a flag back here at the 42-yard line. So we'll see what that's all about before somebody's down. For Fort Morgan on that far side. Trainer runs out to see what the injury is. I have seen that this year, and I do not know what that is. It was against Pueblo County, but I do not know what the signal is.
Yeah, it's 2 fists coming together.
Yeah, I don't know what. Oh, now they just had another flag thrown on that far side. I'm not sure what that was all about. It's Jacob Fritzler that was down. I don't know if somebody said something over on that. Somebody said something over on the far side of Pueblo County, so that's going to be another 15 yards back.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
You know, they have a good season and get to this point and then just completely melt down and start saying things that are inappropriate. You can be frustrated, I understand that, but it really makes no sense what satisfaction do you get out of saying something negative to the official or whoever?
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Hornets, it was already marked back to about the 27. Now they're going to take it back even further. So after that nice run by Paradiso, it's all for naught as it's going to be marked clear back to about the 13-yard line. Still first down, but it's
first and 17 now.
First and 17 from the 13.
First and 18.
So Paradiso still in as a quarterback. They do have a sophomore quarterback. Oh, Fillmore, I believe I saw him with a cast on, so he wouldn't be available anyway. So we're down to a minute 1. Pass out here into the flat to Martinez. Gets it across the 25, the 30. And he will have enough for the first down.
Martinez on the quick screen crosses the 30.
So first and 10 Pueblo County as they get it out to the 32-yard line. They're still trying to put some points on the board. As that clock runs, we're now down under 45 seconds. Going to be a handoff to Muniz right up the middle. And that will be enough for the first down as he gets it out to the 48-yard line.
Good open field tackle by Angelo Rivera.
Tackle by Rivera, so that'll bring up first and 10 from the 48. Down to 39 seconds and counting. Going to be a handoff to Muniz once again. he will be enough for the first down. Gets it down into Mustang territory, down to the 40.
That keeps stopping the clock with those first downs.
Rivera on the carry.
So first and 10
Tackled by Sosat.
from the Mustang
First down.
40. As they wind that clock, we're down to 26 seconds. Paradiso, shotgun formation, receivers left and right. He's going to keep it over that left side. And this time it won't be enough for the first down. We're down to 15 seconds, and they're going to just let this clock roll to an end here. So your Fort Morgan Mustangs are victorious, 41-14 over this. Well, they may get another playoff. We'll see. I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. They do get it off. It's to Muniz as he gets it down for first down yardage, but the game is over. Fort Morgan 41. Pueblo County 14 on B106 and B106.com. The Fort Morgan Mustangs postgame show is brought to you by Morgan Community College. Find out why Morgan Community College is the best choice for your higher education. Visit MCC online at www.morgancc.edu or stop by the campus for a personal advising session. MCC, here to help you imagine your possibilities, believe in yourself, and achieve your goals. So once again this afternoon, the Mustangs victorious 41-14 over the Pueblo County Hornets. Scoring this afternoon, we'll start right off from first half of play. The Hornets get the ball, take it 80 yards in 11 plays. PAT Good goes up 7-0 over the Mustangs. Mustangs on their first possession go 70 yards in 11 plays. PAT off to the right and no good, so that left the score then at 7-6 with 42 seconds left in the first period of play. Hornets then get the ball and they turn it over on downs. Mustangs 2 possessions later on 2 plays. Kimball takes it in from 57 yards out for the touchdown. The PAT is good. Fort Morgan 13, the Hornets 7 with 6:50 to go in the first half. The Mustangs then get the ball back with 48 seconds left in the first half of play. Kimball hauls in the pass from 27 yards out. PAT good. Fort Morgan up 20-7. Fort Morgan did get the ball back with 0.1 seconds to go after a fumble, and that field goal was blocked, and so the half came to an end 20-7 Fort Morgan. Fort Morgan gets the ball first possession to start off, and they end up fumbling the ball away after they started out from their 14 and driven it clear down to the 23. Fumble it away. The Hornets take possession. 3 plays later for them, though, they are throw an interception. Next possession for the Mustangs after the interception. Kimball runs it in from 14 yards out. PAT good once again, 27-7 with 5:03 to go in the third period. Hornets get the ball back, drive it 75 yards in 4 plays. Muniz takes it in on a 45-yard run. PAT is good. Score then is 27-14 with 3:26 left in the third period. Fort Morgan gets the ball back. They end up having to punt. The Hornets then on their next possession fumble. Mustangs can't do anything with it, have to go 4 and out. The Mustangs do get the ball back with 3:46 left in the fourth period, intercepted by Angelo Rivera. And then the Mustangs take it in from 25 yards out. Tate Kimball takes it in actually from 6 yards out. They started at the 25. In 3 plays, go up 34-14. Next possession for the Hornets, intercepted by Dunn. He takes it down to the 1. Knapp has a keeper for the touchdown. PAT good once again, 41-14. Hornets get the ball back with 1:10 and finally run out of time as they get it down to the Mustang 40-yard line. So nice job here by the Mustangs as they win this 41-14.
They win it going away. And the tale of the tape second half is bend but don't break, because on defense they gave up a lot of yards. Ends up at the end of the game, no one would believe this, but from my unofficial stats, Pueblo County ends up with one more yard on total offense. They ran for a lot there, but they had the 3 interceptions in the second half, and that just kind of takes away field position and everything else. They had the long field almost on every drive, and Fort Morgan not putting up as many numbers, but for the day, Fort Morgan, Dalen Knapp throws it 6 times for 2 completions, 35 yards and a touchdown, also 1 interception. The touchdown goes to Tate Kimball from 27 yards out, and Trey McBride gets the other reception for 8 yards, both of those earlier in the game. Rushing-wise, Toby McBride goes 7 attempts for 36 yards. Tate Kimball 27 carries for 179 yards. He gets the 3 touchdowns. Toby just the 1. Dalen Knapp also gets a 1-yard sneak for a touchdown, and that's on 4 attempts for 6 yards, 1 touchdown. Arroyo also carries it 5 times for 50 yards, and Rosales 2 times for 9 yards. So Fort Morgan ends the day 45 carries for 280 yards with 5 touchdowns. For Pueblo County, Paradiso ends the day with 5 completions on 14 attempts, 75 yards, but 3 interceptions. He also runs the ball 20 times for 95 yards and a touchdown. Muniz carries it 21 times for 144 yards and a touchdown. Martinez also has the 1 pass on the double pass or the halfback pass that went incomplete. Martinez has 5 carries for 1 yard, and Mooring has 1 for 1. So statistically, it turns out to be not quite as dominant as it was. Fort Morgan gets some great defensive plays on those 3 interceptions, and there was a point there where they came down and scored that touchdown, and I have to say that maybe I was a little bit worried that they could get the momentum and score, and Fort Morgan was able to, like I say, bend but not break.
Yeah, that's for sure. We're going to pick a Fort Morgan Mustang player of the game, and that is brought to you by Mr. D's Ace Home Center, with 3 locations to serve you better: Sterling, Brush, and Fort Morgan. Your headquarters for all your home, farm, and ranch supplies, from plumbing to feed. And this afternoon we're going to give it to Tate Kimball for his great work out of the backfield, his touchdowns, and also he had a couple 3 punts that also pinned Pueblo County deep, and they had to start in some pretty bad field position a couple times after his punt. So our player of the game will go to Tate Kimball.
Absolutely good game by him. I think it's time to maybe start looking forward to next week. I think you might have mentioned that Palisade is our next opponent. Palisade is out of that same western slope that Delta and Rifle and Eagle Valley are. Rifle's been knocked out, but Eagle Valley, I think, and Delta both win. I guess I'm not sure about Eagle Valley, I guess. But anyway, Palisade 5-2 in league, 8-2 overall, coming in, scoring 40 points a game and only giving up 14.
So another tough game coming up next week for the Mustangs, and we will have that game here next Saturday at 1 o'clock against Palisade. So we would appreciate it if you would join us for the broadcast next week as Fort Morgan moves on to the quarterfinals of the 3A playoff game. Do you have any other updates there on any scores? Brush ended up going down, did they? And so did Wiggins, I believe.
Yeah, I didn't get the final on Brush. The scores that we get, we got to give credit to ColoradoPreps.com for getting us updated on the scores.
Kevin Schaefer runs that program. Nice job by Kevin. But we know that Brush was down 28-14 late in the game.
And that's the final score is 28-14.
28-14, but
Sterling also loses, or is losing still 27-7. So pretty much all of Northeast Colorado above the 8-man, at least in our area, is done, except for Fort Morgan, who will carry on and play another game on Legion Field against a Palisade team that's going to have to travel all the way from apple country, peach country. Some good fruit up there. Hopefully they bring some for us to snack on.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I just did want to say congratulations, though, to Reed Call and his bunch.
Absolutely.
As they got had a big win last week in the first round of the playoffs as his first year of coaching, and got brushed right back into the playoffs. Didn't miss a step basically with after their coaching staff left over there, and Reed came in. So nice job by Reed Call for his first year. So congratulations to them. So we're going to go ahead and close this thing out. The sound engineer and producer of Fort Morgan Mustangs football this afternoon has been Julie Garcia. For Kevin Rohde, I'm Brian Nickel. Once again, the final score, Fort Morgan 41, Pueblo County 14. You've been listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs football on B106 and B106.com. Good afternoon, everybody.